From 1988 to 2013, Rick Plato was the head coach of our men's basketball program at Mount St. Vincent University. Coach Plato built a program that started in his first season with a 4-12 record to becoming one of the most successful basketball programs in the history of the ACAA. Rick's accomplishments over those 25 years speak for themselves. Read the success of his teams and his coaching staff. 13 ACAA championship titles, 14 trips to the CCAA Nationals, 1 CCAA National Bronze Medal, 1 CCAA National Silver Medal, and 14 of his players named All-Canadians. Rick himself was named ACAA Coach of the Year 11 times, and he was named CCAA Men's Basketball Coach of the Year in 2008.
I think I've been one of the fortunate ones. I've had a very interesting history with Rick. Started in my high school. He was a teacher at my high school, and probably the teacher that pushed me the hardest to achieve and to win. I took that with me and brought it here to the Mount. And I think as a coach, I saw Rick obviously in a different light, but understood what he brought to the classroom back then, and then how he brought it onto the floor and taught us what to do to succeed, not only on the court, but in life, in the classroom, and basically to drive to win in everything we do. And I think the lessons that he taught me as a player, I was able to transition those into the coach that I wanted to be, plus give back to the players who were sort of going through the same experience that I went through, and trying to show them that, listen, he's hard on you, but he's hard on you for a reason. And I think if you talk to any of his former players, and heck, even guys that I went to high school with, and any of his former students, they look back fondly on his teachings and how he pushes you and finds that motivation to make you want to win. And I always did.
Hi, I'm Abe Tulani, a former MSVU Mystic from 2004 to 2009, graduate of 2010 class. I want to begin by congratulating Coach Plato on being inducted into the CCAA Hall of Fame. Coach Plato has not only taught me that there's no substitute for hard work, but he's also let every single alumni who has played for him learn this important lesson. The way Coach Plato has impacted me over the years is by making me a better player. All the X's and O's of the game. If it wasn't for his program, I definitely wouldn't have played overseas in Lebanon in my later years. Coach Plato deserves his Hall of Fame nomination because he is a winner. He is by the book. There is no wishy-washy nonsense with Coach. This is why his system works, because of the time, dedication, desire, and heart he has put into all his teams. He has given his heart to his players and understands all angles for how to better his teams. But as far as we advance in life or in basketball, we will never be his equal. A memory I will share about Coach Plato is that in 2008, during my 4th year, we were seated second in the country. We were in an MSVU boardroom. Coach talked about the feeling of winning a national championship with the St. Mary's Huskies in the 70s. As he was telling us the feeling he'd experienced, in the middle of his speech, tears gathered in his eyes, and he said to us all, "I just want you all to have the exact same feeling as I did." That moment was very inspiring.
Hi, my name is Mark Ford, and I am the current head coach here at Mount St. Vincent University of the women's basketball team. I've had the pleasure of knowing Coach Plato for over 30 years as a player, as an assistant coach on his staff, and recently as a mentor and a true friend. As a former player of Coach Plato, he and his wife Ann became like second parents to me while I was here at the Mount. He pushed us extremely hard in practice. He built confidence into us. He made us feel like winners. And most importantly, he put a value on getting an education and how that would open up so many doors after you finished your playing career. As an assistant coach on his staff, I witnessed his many, many hours of dedication and commitment to building a program here at Mount St. Vincent University. His resume as a coach speaks volumes. I mean, just under 800 wins, 13 Coach of the Year awards, 14 national championships, 2 national medals. He's had 160 players come through the door here, and I've watched the impact he had on them during his time while he coached them, but also watched over the years his relationship that he built with the alumni when they come to watch his games. And it's just amazing to be part of that. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you, and thank you to Ann for everything that you've given to all of us. Congratulations, Coach Plato.
Above all the accomplishments, awards, and titles, what Rick gave to our players and our program were life skills that were learned and earned on the court, but carry over into everyday life every day. Rick's commitment to family and his love of competition are 2 very important factors that help build this program. We also want to acknowledge his wife, Andrea, who was an important member of our teams and this 25-year journey since day one. Thank you. As a coach, his gift to teach and share his innate understanding of the game is to be admired and acknowledged. His student athletes have graduated with a great knowledge of basketball, a university degree, and a set of life skills that have served them well. The program he built at the Mount truly propelled college basketball provincially and nationally, and prepared our alumni to step into their communities with the confidence to accept challenges, value hard work, and understand the importance of giving back. Coach Plato has created a lasting legacy that will never be forgotten, a true friend and member of our Mount Mystics family. Congratulations, Rick, on being named to the CCAA Hall of Fame.
First of all, I want to congratulate all the other Hall of Fame nominees, those who are entering into this very special group. I don't take something like this very lightly, and I think it's pretty obvious that when you're nominated into this, there are 3 certainties. 1, you're getting old. 2, you've done a few decent things. And probably 3rd, and most importantly, that it's not about me, it's about all the people that made all this possible. And for those of you who know me and Ann, you know why she was up there. She's the one that drives the ship. And, you know, I'll tell you, the bus trips for 25 years, the plane trips, the number of times that we've been stranded somewhere, and if you know me, I have no patience, none. And she would be on the phone at the airport trying to get things organized and do all the finances, doing the meals. I could coach. And when I was at the Mount for all those years, I just had to coach, really. June and Mark and the people who made all of those other arrangements that now that I'm at Dow, I find out that I got to do all those on my own. Never had to do them when I was at the Mount. That's why it cost me money to coach at the Mount. But now that I'm there, the ability to just worry about basketball. And even with that, when it comes to recruiting trips and booking flights and meals and hotels and you can name it, she does it all. And, you know, I'm very fortunate to have been surrounded by so many great people. But she's the one that has to take care of me, and she's why I'm here. So that's why I wanted her in that picture. And if you know her, she's shy. She wants no part of it, but she deserved it as much as I did. So if you wouldn't mind giving her hand, because she deserved it. You know, I've been really, really lucky. Grew up on a farm. I owe everything to my parents. I know would be very proud today. I want to thank my sister, Sandy Thomas, who I'm extremely proud of. She's recently retired, but she was chief superintendent of the OPP in Ontario, the highest ranking female officer, and she had 11,000 people under her when she was there. And when I used to go to the court and there was out in where all the Americans lived down by the lake, it was kind of a resort area. She would always tag along, and if we had, an odd number, I'd always take her on my team, and she was a pretty good athlete of her own. So I want to thank her coming from Aurelia for this event. So Sandy, thanks a lot. Love you. When I thought about the 5 minutes, the first thing I thought of was June, because no matter what, I can hear her even now. Make it quick, make it quick, make it quick, make it quick. And if you know me, and going back, I coached girls high school basketball. I was a teacher for a long time, and then I got the Mount job. And before that, it was 5 years from its beginning. And a couple of guys that are here tonight, both June and I want to acknowledge that had something to do with doing the great recruiting and picking out those beautiful blue polyester uniforms that we had. That would be both Lou Gannon and Tim Flynn. So thanks for your contribution, boys. So when I got there, we had a great team. I had a 290-pound saxophone player from the Caribbean that was good for 5 fouls a game. My boy Nev was something else. And I had a 6'5", 265 rock guitarist who could play a tune, but he couldn't play ball. And I took that team, and June, you were being nice. We weren't 4-12, we were 3-17. And 2 of those wins were against AC, who we split with. So, then, to be honest, we couldn't get any kids from the city. There wasn't really much that the Mount offered. So out in the car I went to Bridgetown. I got a couple of twin brothers. And I went to Chester, Nova Scotia, and I got a 6'8" kid and another 6'5" kid and a 6'3" kid who was a throw-in. But he turned out to be something special. Jesse Deepenveen, Johnny Phillips, and Derek Johnson. And then I went to my high school CPA, and there was a tournament, and a kid from Liverpool, Wayne Keddy. And then there was a little shooter from Digby, Eddie Halliburton. And then there was one forward brother who had the courage to play that first year. And it wasn't Mark forward. Mark was pretty smart. He helped me. But he didn't want to waste a year's eligibility that year because we stunk. So that next year, we put things together, brand new group. And at the last minute, a certain current day fireman who was supposed to go to Kings decided to change his mind. And big Ray Adequiotti came over, and the first day of practice, he hit skinny little Anthony McNeil's knee, and if you've ever seen a kneecap crack, I saw his kneecap crack, and it was a definitive Red Sea opening. And he missed his whole first year, and I can remember visiting him in the hospital with this huge cast. But that's where it started. And we had quite a concoction. The next year we went to the final. Cape Breton was still in the conference, and we lost them in the final. And then we started winning, and the rest is kind of history. I knew we had to go and play the best in the country, so we ran a summer league, and there were 8 teams, 4 games back-to-back. I reffed them all and kept score, and that's how we raised the money to go to Montreal. And Coach Brian, David, he'll remember when we went to Dawson. Dawson wouldn't let us play because we weren't good enough. So we went to John Abbott. Somebody remember John Abbott? And we stayed in this one hotel, and there was a rotary, and I kept screwing up. So we drove the 15-passenger van from Halifax to Montreal. I drove the 15 and drove the small one. So I was so sick and tired, I took the wrong turn again, and I just went across the grass median. And the mud was flying, and Ann didn't have anything else to do, so she came in behind me. So the road crew, they chased us they followed us, they chased us to the hotel, and I pretended I couldn't speak French, but we managed to get out of that one. But the things that we would have to do, one time we were going up to the AC for the playoffs, and I think that one time when I was driving the 15-passenger van, Ray almost turned white because it was wintertime, and I started fishtailing on the highway, and I almost lost it in the 15-passenger van. And from halfway, probably from about Stewiacke to Truro, nobody said a word. And we were playing Kings, and they had our number that year. So I got into the locker room early, and I wrote a little note on the board so that when the boys came in, I said, boys, that's what Kings thinks of you. Somebody snuck in. Halftime score was 43-18 for us. And the boys never looked back. And, they tend to remember all the stories. They got a million of them. But you know what? Truth be told, there were opportunities, but especially in my first year, and I had the opportunity to go to a certain AUS school, and it was my first recruiting class. And my very first recruit, the school's not there now, but Rick Rivers brought over this roughneck from Spryfield and went to J.L. Ilsley, a guy by the name of Derek McDermott. And he was my first recruit. And I suppose to the day he died, he never forgave me because I told him I'd give him his recruiting letter because everybody else had a recruiting letter, and he always held it against me that I never gave him a recruiting letter. Well, I talked to him into it in the gym at St. Pat's during the provincials, and I think of him all the time, but he was my first recruit, and these guys here, David Bryan, an assistant coach, and David Wilson, an assistant coach, and Mark Forward, an assistant coach, and Abe Tulani, who's like a son to me. They're all sons to me, and Ray the same, was a part of that first recruiting class. You don't coach in Canada because of the money. You do it because you love the game and you love your players. And, that's why we do it. And 25 years was a long time. I made a lot of great relationships. And I think, Bev and I have been around a long time. We've seen a lot. What's more important? The wins are important, don't get me wrong. But it's I'm far more satisfied and happy when I see what all of these young men, well, they're not young men now, they're middle-aged and gray-haired, half them bald, but what they've become and what they've given back to the community as far as fathers, husbands, parents, coaches, many of them college, university coaches, and to me, that's the greatest satisfaction. And the girl that made it all possible, who I can tell you the number of times, going into her office, holy Jesus, it would go back and forth, but June Lumsden's a very special person, as you all know. She gave me the opportunity, and she means everything to me, and she's the backbone of the Mount. And then, to share tonight with everybody, including one of my former players, Jason Carlson, who did such a great job when he was there. That's why I coach. That's why I coach. And, there are a number of people, in particular, like I said, my parents, who I just wish they were here to see it. Because my work ethic, I don't know where I get the intensity from. People ask me all the time. I don't know, it's just there. But the hard work, sometimes the tough love, and that's what my students and my players, I just, that's the way I was brought up, and, that's why I push. I'm not about any BS or any soft touches or, you've had to adapt. These guys say, you've gotten soft, you've mellowed. Well, I think I've just changed for the better. So I think my former players, these guys here who are like sons to me, if they're coaching, and a lot of the other guys, take the good that the little bit that I had. Don't take the bad. But this is a special night, and I'm just so fortunate to share it with so many people that mean a lot. And I would be remiss, the last person I really want to just talk about is a guy that's in Toronto tonight, but he called me, And he brought me to Halifax. He tested my will, but he has a lot to do with why I'm here today. And that would be Brian Heaney, who we talk and have coffee regularly, but I can bounce a lot of things off of him, and as far as what people like Bev and people like Heaney meant to basketball in this part of the country, I'm very fortunate to have somebody like that who I can confide in and draw on their wisdom and just share it with these guys. So tonight means a lot. I want to thank everybody, and thank you very much to the CCAA and everybody else.